Hello again, everyone, in the FunderOne land and FunderOne world. Welcome back. So this video is about the questions and answers, and I know you've been waiting for this. So let's get going at it. Okay. So here's what's going to happen going forward. We're no longer going to take questions, answer questions during the meetings anymore. What we're going to do is you're going to put your questions in the chat room. And with the questions in the chat room, we're going to go ahead and answer the questions for you in a separate video. So go away and put your questions in there. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. But we want you to make sure you have good, clear questions for you. And then we're going to take a separate time to go ahead and answer these questions in a separate video. And they will be on YouTube. Now, here's the way it's going to work. There's going to be 3 categories. The first category is going to be general questions or frequently asked questions. Okay, so if your question is a general question or questions that we hear often enough, we're going to either take, if 4 people ask the same question, we're going to have it as one entry. We're going to answer that question once and for all on that video. If it's a general question, but you're the only one to ask it, or it's the first time it asked, we're still going to ask it anyway. So those will be the general questions. So from there, you will have what is called the individual direct personal questions. And what we're going to do starting the next meeting, if you have a question that is particular to you, where there's some specifics about it or a portion about it that is related to you personally that we cannot answer to everybody else, we will shoot you an email. But for us to shoot you an email, in your question, you need to make sure that your email address is part of the question in the chat room, so that we can email back to you directly. Okay, so don't forget, ask your personal questions, but put it in the chat, put your email in the chat room next to the question so that we can email it back to you. And what's going to happen is we're going to email you back from zoom@funderone.com. That will be a one-time interaction. So we're not going to go back and forth or answer all kinds of questions in there. We're going to answer your specific questions, and that will be that, because we do not monitor that email address for questions. We will simply send that question. So if you try to ask a second question when we answer you, you're not going to get a response. Okay. The third category, of course, are comments or unanswerable questions that we're just going to leave those alone. So if somebody makes a comment, you know, great job, great news, or something like that, thank you very much for those comments. So here's the breakdown. Okay. In our last meeting in May, we had 36 questions that came up. Okay. And or 36 chat comments. And out of those 36 chat comments, we have 12 questions that we're going to answer for you in this session. Okay. The rest of the questions, we have a group of personal questions that we're going to do our best to send back to you. But if we're not able to, we're gonna just have to figure out some way to get those questions answered, or in the next meeting, we will go ahead and address it if you bring it up again. And the last category, of course, are the category where the unanswerable questions or comments are just non-answerable. So we appreciate your comments. We wanted to make sure that you understand that we do appreciate your comment. That's why we wanted to find a better solution that we can address your needs and keep it going. So that being said, we're going to turn it over to our COO, Ced Celestin, who I will field the questions to him. And as I field the questions to him, he will go ahead and answer it. So let us switch over to Ced. Ced, are you ready?
Yes, sir. How are you doing tonight?
Doing great, doing great.
Very good. I want to say hello to the family, to let you guys know that we're moving forward with all our investors, and things are looking very bright for all of us. So now we're gonna focus on the questions that you guys sent to us, and that way we can move forward. So go ahead, Jack.
Okay, so question number 1. I purchased 300 UBets 6 months ago, but there hasn't been a conversion to FUNDX. What do I need to do?
one thing that I want to make clear is that FunderOne or FUNDX is a project platform, which means when you sign up or when you came in, you did say that you want to fund a project. You see? So we are not like Ether, Bitcoin, any other coin out there. We are focused on projects. So if you come in or you came in and you bought or you told us that you wanted to fund a project, we say, okay, and you want to sign up, you open your wallet, which means you want to buy a house, because that's the key thing that we have on our platform. Anything else that you want to do, you still have to have that house, and you can add whatever else to it. But of course, it has to be within what we do, right? So if you say you wanted to, when you sign up or when you purchase your UBET, you did say that you wanted to do a project. Until the project is funded, until your project is funded, you cannot use your UBETs. You see, that's the way the platform is. That's why all the members, after they fund the project that they have, or they say that they have when they sign up, and at that time, based on schedule, the FUNDX, if you have UBETs, it will be transferred into or be converted into FUNDX, and then you'll be able to purchase it based on the schedule. That's basically what it is. So you cannot use your UBETs before you get to that point, which means you have to close your project first.
Great, great, great. Awesome. So basically, my coins are there, and at some point it will be converted, you know, but if it's for a project, then I need to leave it alone for the project, and that's basically the end of that, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So question number 2. How does FUNDX doing well benefit UBET coin holders who can't sell or do projects? With the housing market tightening, how will projects being constantly delayed hurt opportunities to buy a home using UBETs? If you have set up a trust, have the real estate contract in place for a property, and you have 10% in your wallet, what is the email address to send the paperwork? Okay, so it looks like there's about 3 or 4 questions in there. Do you want me to break it down one by one for you?
Yes, please break it down one by one. But actually, the first one, the first question is the main question, right? Because the other ones are basically, they're talking about they have their 10%. If you have your 10%, which means you need to contact the person that signed you up, the person that brought you in, and the person can actually request a approval letter for you. And so you can go out there and look for properties. Now, the first question is the one that's most important that I want to, if you can read it again, the first question.
How does FUNDX doing well benefit UBET's coin holders who can't sell or do projects?
Okay. No, of course they can do the project, right? Because any member that will, whether you have UBETs or you have FUNDX, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is you need to have the minimum to qualify. Once you have your minimum, whether you have UBETs or FUNDX, you still qualify, you see? And at the end, after we fund your project, you can actually, we can convert, or we will convert as scheduled, your FUNDX to your UBETs into FUNDX, so you can use it, right? So you can use it as needed, like buy furniture, for example, or do whatever. So that's the way it works. We have to fund the project first, and after that, you can take advantage of the value of UBETs or FUNDX that you have, because UBETs and FUNDX is one and the same. It's just that the reason why we have FUNDX right now, if I can talk about it just for a minute, is because our platform was hacked, actually twice. You see, they hacked it when it was at Binance, and now we lost a lot of money there. And they also hacked it at Probit. So that's why it took us a long time to readjust to create a new coin. So that and you put a wall right now on both sides of the coin, so nobody can basically hack it. You see? So that's what we did. So we had to create something totally different because the first time they hacked it, it was at P2P. And then when we got in Binance, they hacked it again. You see? So in order for us to stop it, we had to create a new coin altogether. Now, the company's name is FunderOne. So it was very easy for us to create a name, say FUNDX. You see? So that's how we got into, from UBets, we got to FUNDX. That doesn't mean that the UBets that you have doesn't have any value. It does have value, okay? It's just a matter of you getting the minimum that you need. If you don't have it, you still can do it. You can do it, and we'll give you FUNDX at this time. And then you're gonna have part UBet, part FUNDX. But the bottom line is the total amount that you need based on the purchase price of the house, which means if you're buying a house for 500,000, you need 10%. It's that simple. Which means if you already have a portion of it in UBets, you can get the difference in FUNDX, and then we know you have your 10% and you qualify. Simple.
Okay, great. So another part of the question had to do with the housing market tightening up and the delays. So if I'm not mistaken, you kind of explained some of the delays a little bit, right? Because with the hack, that kind of delayed things, and because we had to switch.
Yes.
Would that be correct?
Big time.
So
Big
how is it for someone who's doing a project right now that we got everything in order? How is the delays being impacted right now?
Well, the delays is impact. And I mean anybody right now is because we have to put everybody in the queue. You see, not a big. We have to have a list. Let's say we have to have a list to know we're coming from here. If you're ready to move on, because a lot of members, we have a lot of members that don't have the minimum that they need in their account, so they can move to having right now an approval letter, so they can be out there to look for properties. So if they don't, they don't. You see. So now, as far as the housing market, you have to think about one thing: the benefits that you're going to have with buying or acquiring your property through this platform, right? And what we do, we tokenizing the property for you. That's basically what we do. And by doing that, we create the liquidity to eliminate your debt. That's what we do. So this is a super plus, regardless of how you look at it. Instead of having a 30-year mortgage, quote unquote. You see, I always say quote unquote because there's no such thing. And I'm going to say it. That's what it is. You see, so quote unquote, we have a 30-year mortgage, right? And the banks actually take the note and the security agreement, okay, or the truth in lending. They go out there and leverage it, make more money, and you still making payments. And mind you that the instruments are yours. You're the one that created those instruments, and you give it to them, and they're making money, and then you're paying them on top of it. And they have the nerve to go out there later on, if you miss payments, to foreclose on you. And that's the beauty of blockchain. It's a peer-to-peer transaction, you see, just like anything else, okay? So I understand the market right now is going crazy, literally, and but it is, at the end of the day, is in your advantage, okay? So understand, please, the platform. If you understand the platform, you're not gonna see it that way. And you're gonna take benefit of what we have to offer. You see, it's the best thing since sliced bread, I can say. You see, so it is. Please pay attention and read go to our website and check it out and see and understand what we are doing and why we're doing what we're doing. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're using this almost the same platform that the banks are using. The only difference is we tokenize the property for you, and the bank says they monetize it. Now, there's one thing I want to make clear, is that some banks, or some investors, I should say, not banks, but some investors actually give loans. How they do that? How do you know that you have a loan? If you actually do a transaction with a private investor, and the private investor doesn't create the instrument so they can leverage, that's the key thing, which means they're not making money with it. They don't put it a mortgage-backed security, because if they convert it or put it in that remit trust, they put in that remit trust and they're making money every month on it, that's your money. If they endorse it, pay on the back of the on the note, pay to the order of without recourse ABC Bank, they cash it or create credit with it. So if they create credit with your instrument or the instrument that you sign for them, they're supposed to also give you credit. That's what we do, you see? Because we're going to be doing the same thing that the banks do, right? That's why we say we tokenize the property, we create liquidity for you, and then we eliminate the debt for you, you see? Versus the bank, they monetize it and they keep the credit. And they're making money every month. And if you miss 3 months, they're going to foreclose. And on our platform, we do not have that foreclosure clause in it, you see? So we're totally different. That's why I'm saying, people, please read about the platform, understand what we do, and we should have no problem see the truth, okay?
Okay, awesome, awesome. So let's move on to the next question. Who do we have to contact to get started with our loans? I know you're gonna love that one. Who do we have to contact to get started with our loans?
Okay. Number one, we do not do loans.
I knew you're gonna like
that. We cannot do loans. We do not. Okay. Now, if we were to do loans, you will be the lender because you're the one creating the instruments for us. Understand that. You see, banks do not give. No bank trusts us enough to give us a loan for 30 years. Listen to what I'm saying. No bank trusts us. When I say us, I'm talking about all of us, the 98%. Remember, there's a 2% that controls everything, and there's a 98% that go out there and get loans. We, the 98%, there's no bank out there that trusts us enough to give us a loan. So therefore, we do not do loans. You cannot do loans on blockchain. Why? Because blockchain made it clear, Satoshi made it clear that blockchain is a peer-to-peer transaction. So there cannot be loans. Okay? So what we do, we fund your project for you. So since we have that transparency to show, you see how much money that we make, that's what you can see on blockchain. You can see that how many tokens that we create when we close your transaction. You see, you can see that. It's open for everybody to see. So therefore, that's what we use to actually, that's part of tokenization. And then we put on the market, we sell it, we receive the funds, and then we pay out whatever debt that you may have.
So you explained the loan part. Now the question was, who do we have to contact to get started with our loans?
Exactly. Now, one of the things that you can do, if you don't know anybody, because most likely if you're in the system, watching our meetings, most likely somebody invited you, right? You can contact that person and the person will get you in touch with us, or just on the chat, put your name and number, and then someone will call you. So we'll find out exactly how we can help you depending on what area that you are in, and we'll get in touch with you. All you have to do on the chat room, put your name, address, email address, and phone number, and then basically give us a line or send us a line saying what you want. You have a question or you want to speak with someone, and then we will address it. One of us will call you directly or email you, or we'll get in touch with you, basically.
Okay, super. Great, great. The next question that we have is, has anyone closed on a property yet?
Yes. In fact, that's why right now we're blowing the whole financial platform right now with what we have, because we closed 2 transactions, both of them in Florida. And those are the tests that we made sure. I mean, remember one thing, family, everything is done by design. The first one that we closed it with KB Homes. Why KB Homes? Because KB Homes are one of the largest builder in the United States, right? So we picked that one. That was a great one. And second, KB Homes use First American Title. Remember, First American Title will not record anything illegal. So that's why I said everything is done by design. So when the client or the member came in and they mentioned that they were buying a property at KB Homes and they were using First American Title, that was a perfect fit for us as the first test. So it did work. Now, of course, it took a little longer than usual. Why? Because the attorneys from First American Title had questions about our funding, the way we fund our projects, right? But at the end of the day, we got down to where they accepted, because remember, the title company has to take it in and accept it, so the county recorders and or the courthouse can actually accept it. You see, so we had to satisfy the title company first in order for us to move, or for the title company to move to the county recorders or the courthouse to record the property for us. So that took that happened very successfully, and that was the first one. The second one is also in Florida, and again, why in Florida again is because Florida is is a state that says, since in Florida there's a lot of older people, a lot of companies from different states, they go to Florida to take advantage of the elderly, right? So that's why it's more difficult for any financial institution to do business in Florida. So that's, again, that's why we did the second one in Florida, and I think it was in Kissimmee County, somewhere like this, Orange County, I think it was. And again, that's another proof that what we do is legit, because they all recorded at the county and the state, I mean, at the county and the courthouse in Florida. So everything is clear there. So we can go anywhere else in the United States and the world, in fact, to do the same thing.
Okay, great, great. So now that same person also asked, what about the debit card process that we had spoken about, you know, and wanted to know where that.
That's a great question. Now, I don't know if you, by now you should know that we pre-listed on Coinbase. And by being pre-listed on Coinbase, and Coinbase right now has has a ATM card and a Visa that they already put out. And I think Matthew mentioned that on the last video that we did. He mentioned that he just received his ATM card and Visa card. So since we're going to be on that platform, right? Because right now we're just working with them to finish up the listing. We pre-listed. What they do when they pre-list you, which means they list the price of the coin. So you can see the coin, what the coin is doing on that platform, while we're working on the documents or whatever else they need, so we can actually put us fully on that platform, so you can go and trade. Now, the key thing is the way Coinbase create that ATM card and Visa card that they have is that any coin that they have on their platform, like let's say FunderOne, I mean FunDX is going to be on there, right? If you have that ATM card, when you want to go and purchase, you can purchase. You can. We have an option to use a FUNDX directly, or you can use Bitcoin, or you can use Ether, or you can use any other coin, because you have that option to pick which coin that you want to use wherever you are, whatever you're purchasing, right? So that makes it a lot easier for all our members once we finish with the listing. You see, because right now on their card, all the coins that they have all of them on the card, and you can pick where you have your coins. You see that? You can just pick. You can click on which coin that you're using to purchase whatever. So that'll be a perfect fit for us for now, until we get to the point that we have our own. But for now, that's one of the things that we're pushing to get listed on Coinbase. That way, in the meantime, while we work in the background with ours, we can actually use what they have. Yes, the corners are coming. Once we finish with that platform, you'll be able to use FUNDX as I'm going to say it, as a legal tender. Yes.
All right. All right. That was a great question. So,
yes.
Next question is a person wanted to know, how can someone speak one-on-one to one of us? I guess you, Matthew, myself, or one of the other presenters, I guess. So how can that happen?
Well, it can happen, right? Because right now we are focused on funding, right? That's why we spending most of our times with investors, right? And we kind of busy on that because we want to make sure that we finalize this part of it. Right now, we're dealing with attorneys. You know how it is with attorneys. So again, you can actually send us on a chat. You can actually give us your name, number, and email, and we will contact you. And once that contact takes place, you can actually go further of whatever else that you want to do. But for now, it would be the best way to do it. Go on the chat and put your name and phone number and email address, and now we can contact you, or one of us will contact you.
Okay, and along with the question, the specific question that you want to be contacted about. That makes sense.
Exactly. Okay. Yes.
Great. The next question is, what if you don't have a listing agent and the property is being sold by the property owner direct to the member who has 10% in his or her wallet?
Yes, I mean, we don't have a problem with that. The bottom line is really, we want all transactions to be an arm's length transaction. Why is that? Because we're dealing with investors. We don't want to have any type of hanky-panky within our platform, which means issues. You see? Now, the property has to be there. You see, you have to have a property. We cannot allow what happened in 2007, 2006, and down to probably 2003 happen on our platform. We're not going to allow that. You see, so that's why we're asking for two major things. We ask you for the inspection, because no licensed inspector will come out or give us an inspection, and for us to find out the property, there's no property. There's no licensed appraiser or certified appraiser will give us an appraisal on a piece of property, and later for us to find out there's no property there. And that's exactly what happened before. You see, that's why the government got involved and tightened up all the bolts. Now, we do not want to be part of anything like this here. You see, now, if you have a real seller, who wants to sell the property, and you as a member, we know that you're a real buyer of that particular property, as long as we can have those two things, the appraisal and inspection, we do not have a problem with that. Of course, if you have an agent, it's fine. But if you don't have an agent and you can buy directly from the seller, better for you. So we don't have a problem with it.
Okay, great. Awesome. So move on to the next question. For closing, how far back will you start funding? Are you going to start year 2019, 2020, or 2021?
Well, I don't really answer that. Understand this question. We're going to fund as whether if you're available, if you have the minimum 10% of FUNDX in your wallet, you qualify. All we have to do is put you on the queue and for you to be funded. It's that simple. So it's not how many years back or we're gonna go. We don't have that. If you're ready, let's do it. To make it easy, let's say you're buying a piece of property for $500,000. You need to have 10% of it in your wallet. 10% is $50,000. $50,000. You're only in FUNDX, in cryptocurrency, right? It can be in Bitcoin, Ether, or any of the major currencies, cryptocurrencies. and then we can convert it into FUNDX for you, because you have to have a regular coin in your wallet, and you qualify. Once we have that, we can actually send you the approval letter, and then you'll be out there looking for properties. If you already have the property, you know the balance in the house, and you don't have anything that you want to do or you need to do on the property, you don't need no additional funds. I mean, I say additional funds, I'm not talking about cash in your pocket. I'm talking about, let's say you have a house and the house has issues and you want to fix it up, right? You have to have a contractor that can actually come in and give you a bid, a licensed contractor. We cannot give you cash. We can only fund the project. A project can be a house that you have and you have additional work. Let's say the kitchen is falling apart and you want a new kitchen, and the backyard is a mess. You want to fix your backyard. I mean, those type of things within the house. Yes, you can actually have a contractor come in, and then and of course you have a loan on the property. We take the loan, and then we can add the construction work that whoever contractor going to do for you. Right now, one of the things that we don't do, he cannot be a pop or you know, honey who's gonna do it for you. He cannot be. He has to be a contractor, a licensed contractor, because that's how we secure our investors. Of course, the property, the value has to be there, which means whatever funds that we give you has to go to the property. So it's just like any other bank. You know, we don't do cash out. We only do projects.
Okay, great, awesome. So let's move on to the next question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you address how you believe the IRS will look at these purchases when resold regarding basis and capital gains?
Well, that's a very good question. And when it comes to IRS or any other tax authorities, we don't deal with those. We do not do nothing for you. We cannot help you. You have to talk to either your tax attorney or your accountant. Your accountant will give you advice of what to do when it comes to tax, whether on the property or capital gain. We don't deal with that.
Okay.
We don't
awesome.
give tax advice, basically.
Next question. Is there anyone to clarify what just said? When will projects start being funded? Is it in 30 days, 45 days, or 60 days? When will we be receiving our funding letter?
Well, if you already been on the queue, and to be on the queue, you have to have the 10% in FUNDX on your wallet, right? If you already have that and you're already there, so all you have to do, let us know, so we can actually put you on the queue that you're ready, and so we can get you going. It's that simple. Whoever brought you in, you can talk to that person, and the person knows exactly how to get in touch with us. Or again, you can get on the chat and do the same thing. Send us an email or with your name, phone number, and your wallet. Is on the chat. It is safe to send wallet. You don't send us your password, but you can send us your wallet. Because the reason why you send us the wallet, because we can go in and check to see if you have the 10% that you say you have. That's all it is. Just like you go to the bank. When you go to the bank, you give them your account number so they can check your account balance. This is the same thing.
Okay, we're getting close to the end here. We've got a couple of questions left. So the next question is, the first people in the program are still having the 25 or 25 of the value of the house, or all of us should have 10%?
Now, if you already have, let's say you enter into the program where it was at 25 cents, for example, because it was just like any coin, it starts somewhere, right? And you have the minimum that was required at that time. All you have to do, I mean, your wallet will say all that for you. You don't have to worry about it, because the second that we pull the wallet, it will give us the date, all the deposit, all the purchase that you did of UBets or FUNDX, All the records are there. All that is in blockchain at Etherscan. We can look it up and see all the deposit that you have and how much you have in your wallet. You see? So it doesn't matter what it is. At that time, we can see the date and we can see the difference between the dates, and we can dictate, okay, based on the information we got from Etherscan, we can tell you exactly which way you need to go. But the bottom line is you need to have the minimum that was required at that time. That's all. Once we have that, you're good to go.
Okay, and we're reaching the end of the line. The final question, please explain the process when your UBets did not change over to the new platform. The new platform is not recognizing my old password.
Okay. Now, we have a lot of members that have UBets asking the same question, right? The reason for that is if you, right now, my CryptoEX Bank, which is the past exchange that we have for the wallets, is no more. Okay, so you have to go to FunderOneEX.com. So now once you go to FunderOneEX.com, you have to go to the list of coins and go into UBets if you have UBets. And once you go there, you can see how much you have and what you have, right? Or if you have FUNDX, and but if you're talking about the 25, which means you have UBets. So if you have UBets, you can just tell us how much you have. Now, if you don't have the minimum that was required at that time, now you need to get in touch with us so we can tell you how much more you need to complete that. Because again, we can go to blockchain, which is etherscan.io. We can actually see what you have. And when was the last time that you purchased UBets and the amount, you see? So based on that, we can calculate that. And let's say you say, okay, I want to purchase this property for 500,000. Okay. And we know that how we can see how much you have as far as UBets. We can calculate the difference that you need, you see, in FUNDX, so you can complete the minimum that you need. And we'll go from there.
Okay, great set. I think we got to the end of the road. So, I think this is a good thing for our members, I'm hoping that this will help satisfy a lot of questions. And hopefully going forward, we can do this better and better. And I have much stronger and better response as we go along. So that as the members are starting to better understand the platform, that we can be able to better answer their questions. So basically, I think this went well. So if you have any last comments.
Yeah, I think this platform that we have right now to answer the questions are the best, right? Because in meetings, it takes us too long to go actually to, if you want to schedule different members or personality to show up in the meeting, we're not going to have time. It's going to take us 2-3 hours just to go through the meeting and answer questions. Versus the way we do it right now, we can schedule one day a week, and then we can answer all the questions and knock them out, and then we put them up on our YouTube platform, and that way all our members can actually look it up and look and listen to it and watch it at any time. That whenever they want, they can actually do that, and they can also, based on our answers, they can ask other questions, right? So because the chat will still be available, they still can do that on the chat room, right?
Absolutely. The chat is always available to them. So what's different from when we first started in the beginning, we were reading the chat live and it got very confusing, trying to keep up with their questions. And then it was, how do we find a way to give the members the answers they need? And so every time we try to find different ways, this is the one that's finally, I believe has some teeth where we can actually give answers, because when you were answering questions in the past with Matthew and other people, the problem was we would only get to 4 or 5 questions, like you said, and then the time will be up. And now we have all the time in the world to answer each question fully without feeling the pressure that we have to wrap it up and end. But not only that, what I find is the added value to doing it this way is that, at the time we're doing the meeting, we're focused on what we're trying to announce.
Exactly.
But now we focus on what we announce for the meeting. After the meeting, during the meeting, we get the questions. We can take our time, review the questions, and have good, clear, solid answers, and instead of trying to guess what
Rush them out.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this is I think this will really work. I think the members will really like it this way, and I think once we figure out how to best, which we did tell them, send your phone number, send your email and your name. That way we can answer you directly on your questions. I think the members will become more and more happy, and until we get a better and more perfect FunderOne.
Well, I mean, technology that is advancing, right?
Exactly.
So as we go, of course, we're gonna better our platform, and eventually we'll probably end up having our own platform, right?
Right.
So it's just a matter of time, right? For now, Zoom is doing us very well. I'm happy with it. So we're gonna keep it the way we have it. I mean, at least for now. And as we go, we can change things around.
Right. And as you know, and we talk about that, we have different systems that we want to put in place, things like live chats, and so forth and so on. So getting those things in place, they look a lot easier than actually are, because you have to funnel it to the right person. You have to have a platform that actually satisfies the members, because there's a lot of platforms out there.
Again, thank you very much, Jack, for hosting the this meeting. Oh, well, not a meeting, but to answer the questions.
This FAQ
thank you very
session.
much. Yeah, like questions here. So let's keep it going, and I think this is a good thing. Very good, very good. Thank you for that.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Sid, for making the time available to get these questions answered. I'm looking forward to our next meeting and in our next question and answer session. And I'm really looking for the next meeting to get the reaction from our members on how this worked out. So we want you to give us feedback so that we can further improve the process. That's what we're looking to do, is have things better.
Exactly.
So please give us your feedback. I keep telling you guys that, and I'm going to keep saying it. We do see your questions. We do take them into consideration. We want to make sure you're happy. The only way we can do that is by you continuing to challenge us and continuing to help us grow and do better. So thank you very much, Sid, and to everyone. See you next time.
See you next time. Thanks.